is it, huh?
It is. We're making this work. You're gonna give us a cue and you. Hello, everybody. You might notice that we are a little different today, but we're recording off a phone. So.
Yeah, we've. Oh yeah.
We got a rookie here, so.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're using every available resource to try to bring this to you live, but we have really slow internet here, being in Clearwater. So
right. So everybody,
Better?
we're gonna have to talk that way.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
We got Jared Sypnieski here today. He is the CEO and owner of Thin Ice Spearing Decoys.
Founding member.
20 years? You said?
Estimate from origins unknown. We don't know when it started.
Okay.
We have an about.
All right.
Circus 2012's.
Circa.
Circus.
Okay, circa.
2002, roughly.
Yeah. Can you just tell us just a little bit about yourself today?
I am Jared. I'm 31, and
I like to potty.
yeah, I work for a family-owned business. I have a wife, Ashley, who's the best woman in the world, and 2 kids, Wyatt and Addison. Work for a family business here in Clearwater doing fencing and decking, and it's a seasonal job. So when I'm laid off in the winter, I carve spearing decoys.
Okay.
Like to deer hunt, like to hunt just about anything, fishing, spearing. That's me in a nutshell.
You're a meat hunter.
Yes.
So speaking about hunting, you just came off a deer hunting trip in Iowa.
Yes.
How was that?
It was fun. It was fun. We hunted a bunch of state land in Iowa. Had a lot of our hunts kind of toppled by people driving deer and stuff like that, but still a blast. Dad and I went down for about a week and have some great friends down in Iowa that got to spend some time with, and just a blast. I got a doe, Dad got a doe, and then usually there's always nice bucks in the area, so we usually hold out for a nice buck, and didn't see the one we wanted this time, but I'll have a bow tag next year. So
cool. So you usually bow hunt down there, right?
Yeah. The draw rate's usually like usually you draw a point or draw a deer tag like after 3 or 4 points. So I went elk hunting this year. I can't go hunting. I can't go on one big hunting excursion more than one every year. So I chose to get a point this year. So I'll go into the draw with like 5 points next year. So I should almost surely draw.
Yeah. So we start this off every time with what's your favorite spearing memory?
Favorite spearing memory. Okay, so this was before I ever even hit my first fish, but we used to go. My father and I used to go up. We built a deck actually for one of who ended up becoming our friend. His name was Tim Shaw up in Breezy Point, and on Pelican Lake, right across from the big Breezy Point Resort, and it was a lot of fun. He had like a little walleye hotspot there, and there was always big northerns circling around. In 12 feet of water, you could see the bottom like crystal clear. Yeah. And I was spearing, and I had a fish come in from 12 o'clock right down the top of the hole, and it was probably like just a 2-pound little dink. And I took the spear and I threw it and whiffed and missed, and the fish took off, and I, whatever. So I was kind of whatever, and I reached down to grab the spear, and the spear was still stuck in the bottom of the lake. And as I was pulling, I like started to pull the spear up, and like a giant came sliding in the hole, and my spear was still down the hole. So
you got caught with your pants down.
Yeah, with my spear down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I slid the spear over to the side of the hole and kind of did like the and tried to pull it. Yeah, it didn't happen, but yeah. And then that was kind of my favorite like fish related fun. Otherwise, I look at spearing more as kind of a social thing. So just anytime I get to spend with friends out there that's fun.
Speaking of that, we've spent a few hours in the spear house together.
Multiple, yes.
Yeah. So many of you don't know this, but we're a part of a spearing tournament every January down in Brainerd in the Whitefish chain, and
up in Brainerd,
up in Brainerd for you, down for me. And I got invited by Jared, so it's an invite only. But we're part of this on Friday. It's a usually go down on like a Wednesday or Thursday, but on Friday the tournament starts, and that's a single tine tournament. And Jared holds the record for the smallest fish speared with a single tine spear, and that is the whole competition. It's the smallest fish you can spear, and what was it, 15 inches?
14. I never miss. That's what I'm trying to say here. The last miss was that one about that 2-pounder I just told you about.
But that was pretty impressive watching that. I was in the house when he did it. We are a team. Our team's called Team Brokeback. I don't know why, but
breaking Northern's backs. That's why.
Yeah. And so we've won the last 2 years because of Jared. I've kind of just been the sandbagger, but he's gotten us a number 1 placement for team anyway. So
for the one time.
If you guys have a chance to do that, get a one-time spear and go out and throw at some northerns that, not a big northern, obviously.
It's humbling.
Yeah. You miss a lot, but it's fun.
Yeah, you get close a lot.
Yeah.
I've got a few whiffs under my belt.
And you can mark your fish once in a while, and you say, hey, I knew that fish.
I've seen that one before. It came in. It's got a stripe down the side of it. Missing some scale.
So I don't know if you guys are noticing, but I'm wearing the first ever. I'm the first person to wear this shirt that Jared has.
Yeah, funny.
He just got him today.
Funny enough, shout out to Jason Kistner. I did a fence project for him this summer, and I traded him some work. He owns a T-shirt making company, and out of the clear blue, we had been working on getting some T-shirts done for a while. Sorry, if you hear the thunder upstairs, all of our kids are upstairs, so all 6 of them. So, but anyways, Jason was we traded some work. I put in some fence for him, and he said, I'll print you some T-shirts. And we had been working on the design and getting the colors right and all that. And then I hadn't heard from him in a while. I was out hunting and doing a bunch of other stuff. And then my dad calls me this afternoon. And it's like, hey, I got something for you. And I was like, okay, whatever. And he shows up and he goes, you're going to love this. And he opens a box and it's all my T-shirts. So it's like, oh, perfect timing. So I have a pretty good, pretty limited quantities as far as T-shirts are concerned right now. But if you want some, reach out to me and I can get you on the, like I said, I think I got like 15 or 20 of several different sizes. So if we need to get different sizes, so be it. I'm going to try to get some sweatshirts ordered. So, and I'll probably take, have people order sweatshirts anyways. And then I want to do some hats eventually,
and Ryan Ebert designed your logo.
Ryan Ebert did the logo.
Yeah, he's a friend of ours from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Awesome job, Ryan.
Yeah.
Turned out sick.
Jordan Gunnifson. Hey, buddy.
How's it going, my Mr. Italian friend?
Yes. Oh, yeah. So what is your favorite spearing setup? We'll start with that. I know I've been fishing with you, and you have a whole different way of finding where you want to fish, and it encompasses like 50 holes drilled, which I'm not used to, but I see the value in doing that.
So yeah, usually when I'm setting up for spearing, usually what I like to do is find like weed lines, and like the harder the weed line, the better it is. Because what I've found is like over the years of spearing, imagine like trying to make an example. Imagine like you're looking at a field edge and the edge of the woods, and like the northerns are in the woods, and what I try to do is set up so you're going to be hanging those decoys just outside. So these northerns are kind of patrolling inside the weeds and hunting for fish more or less. And what it gives them the opportunity to do is they're kind of, obviously they try to ambush. Yeah. So it's nice what I like to do is get a decoy so you can hang it just on the outside of the weed's edge. And usually that involves either, a drop off. So you're looking for, the depth to be at a consistent level, 5-6 feet, whatever. So the weeds are usually all the way up to the bottom of the ice. And then as it gets, the steeper that drop off, the quicker the weeds fade away. So it kind of gives you that hard to find edge. And that's usually where I've had my best success, is like being just on the outside of those weeds. And what you'll see is northerns will they'll race out right from that weed edge and, try to ambush your decoy at which, and then that's so. it takes a lot of work, and a lot of times what works, I'll try to drill holes and then look down the hole. I mean, obviously we speared together a bunch, and you see me do that, but I'm trying to look, under the ice to see that defined weed edge.
Another thing I saw up at or down at Whitefish when we go is a buddy of ours, Joe Fulton. He brings a camera with him, and so
he's gonna be mad. He's gonna be mad that you told the whole world that. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But it works really slick. You drill a bunch of holes and then you pop that camera down there, and if you have fairly clear water, you can see where the weed edge is and find a spot. So I've learned a lot actually fishing with you guys. A lot of different stuff. But what is your favorite color to use down the hole?
Red and white. It's no secret. I mean, anybody that's thrown any kind of daredevil, red and white's kind of it's the go-to. And I've had more success with that. I've run fire tigers and orange and white and natural colors and all that. And it just, I don't know, it seems like the red and white, I don't know what it is about it, but it works.
Yeah, I'd agree. I agree with that. What got you into making decoys? How'd you start out doing this?
Let's see. So I started way back when I'm guessing I was about 12. My mom was looking to get into like some artsy craftsy stuff, and my dad bought my mom a bandsaw. And then about that same time, I bought my first decoy. It was a Bethel decoy from a Holiday gas station in Brainerd, Minnesota. We were up spearing, and my dad just kind of made the comment. He's
Lawrence Bethel.
I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know. I got it. It's in a box somewhere. But he's like, these things are just made out of wood with lead and some fins in it, and you could do that yourself. And I don't just like ever from there. The purest form was all about the money.
Right.
I was gonna be a 12-year-old millionaire selling spearing decoys, and I don't know. It just it took off from there. It really got my decoys weren't anything special for like a long time, And then in like 2012 thereabouts, I started. 2010 was the first year that I had come across NFDA TV, which was the old National Fish Decoy Association website, and then. My eyes were open to like all these amazing carvers, and you see some, the fish that were like just over the top, like way over the top of my level. And I went to my first show. I want to say it was like Grand Rapids, and I competed with a few fish that were garbage compared to what I make now, and I got to meet Larry Lang and Rod Oswald and the whole National Fish Decoy Association crew, and Rod kind of corralled me in and said, "Hey, you gotta come up to Larry's shop and we can teach you a whole bunch of stuff." And I mean, like I said, at that point I was 20, 21, and he said, "Come on up to Perham and come to Larry's shop." So Larry brought me out to the shop, and at that point I wasn't sealing my decoys. I was swim testing them in like my sink, so wasn't letting the fins. There's just tons of tips and tricks that I had no idea about. And then, so Larry took me from a level 1 or level 2 and brought me up to like a level 5 or whatever. And then over the next years, I went to Perham, and I, met more talented carvers and, like Larry and Rod, and just through tricks and techniques and really some awesome mentorship and just some really kind-hearted guys kind of helped me keep getting better at this.
So Jane comments she likes your pink and white one.
I haven't made a pink decoy since probably yours, Jane. You put them to good use up there on the big pond.
I just made a pink and white one for somebody for Christmas. They'd asked for one, so I don't make many of them, but.
Cheers, Dad.
Yeah. What kind of wood do you normally use?
Mostly white pine. If I'm doing something really fancy, like, one of my competition pieces or something like that, I'll use, Tupelo is nice. But most of the time it's just white pine. It's pretty durable in water. I mean, there's a few more that are probably as durable or maybe a little more, but it's I don't know. I just like the way it carves. Cedar really bugs my nose and my eyes. If I cut a chunk of cedar, it's like I'm in sneezing and my nose is running for forever. So
yeah, I get it. That's all I use, and it's some days it's really miserable. I'm out for a day with allergies, but
yeah, and it's something that's gotten worse as I've gotten older. You know, I used to carve with cedar all the time. You know, we have my family's fencing and decking business. I'd have cut off cedar pieces from the end of fence rails or end of fence posts. So I use that for decoys a lot, and then turns out, like, I don't know, as I've gotten older, like it just gets worse and worse as I get older as far as how reactive I am.
I think red cedar is way worse too. It's like,
it smells pretty. I mean, it's for the first you get smells really nice, but then after that it's like it's a downhill battle. So,
who's your favorite carver, by the way? Who's an inspiration to you?
Ooh, favorite carver.
And you don't have to answer that if you feel like you're gonna get in trouble. But
Ryan,
yeah,
no. Guys, I really look up to. There's kind of like two different facets. In my mind, I see like two different. There's like the realistic, you know, that kind of side, and then there's like the folk art side. Obviously, Harley Reagan and Jacob Sasma are like the two guys that I just absolutely, these guys are just like the hand of God when it comes to painting and detail. I'm always just amazed. It's funny, every year you go to Perham, and you know, I compete in all the Perham contests and stuff, and every year you feel like, you know, this year I got the fish that's gonna win it, you know. There's no way, and then you show up and just like the level of fish you hit, or you come up, you know, everybody's bringing their A game, and they always just bring it. They're just awesome fish. So those two guys are two guys that I really look up to. I love, as far as folk art fish, I mean, Kirk Schnitker, I love his fish. I try every one I can get my hands on. I try to buy. Thane Johnson, he hasn't made a fish in a coon's age, but it's I love every fish. I'm trying to. He's got like 200 fish on his website, and I want to own 10% of them. But that's a tall.
Well, you're gonna be fighting me for them.
Yeah, I know. I fight a lot of people for them.
Yeah.
If my wife knew how much I spent on eBay on Thane fish, I'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
That's why you got to have the decoy slush fund, though.
Yeah.
Fulton's making some awesome fish too.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Make me more fish, Fulton.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
But yeah. Those are some people that I really look up to. And then obviously there's a ton of people that I compete against that, you know, it seemed like it was a lot more, the competition was like, there was like 2 or 3 good guys at the very top when I kind of got into the game. And now it's like, holy smokes.
You're lucky to break.
Yeah.
5 or 10.
I won the crappie category a couple of years back at Perham, but it was like, there was 10 fish in there that you're like, they were just phenomenal. You know, what's cool is that everybody in the National Fish Decoy Association is so like willing to help. There's really not any closed doors. There's no secrets. And what it's done has brought a high tide raises all ships, and it's really brought everybody's level up as far as like the competition has is concerned anyways.
Right. So going to decoy shows, that's where I started learning what was important on making a decoy, at least how to make a nice decoy, how to make something that's going to last and all that stuff. I know you mentioned Larry Ling, but is there anyone else that has really kind of been inspiring or kind of given you pointers that's helped you out through the years?
You know, it's hard to kind of put your finger on just one person, because what's kind of cool is like you get into this culture in the National Fish Decoy Association, you know, everybody that's a part of that has kind of been people that everybody's trying to build a better decoy, you know, and it's not a competition thing. You know, I can pick up one of your fish or, you know, 100 different carvers fish, and you can kind of tell the difference between each one. Everybody's doing stuff a little different. And what makes it cool is that everybody's kind of got their own style and
personality.
And it's not so much a competition thing. It's not like, if I sell one guy one decoy, you're not going to sell one to him. So what's been cool is that being that everybody's kind of, like I said, it's almost like an open door policy. Like, you know, when I was originally like 2010, 2011, I had a lot of problems with decoys or fins were falling out of my decoys. And I forget who told me, and they're like, if you just, when you stick the fin in, stick it into your lead cavity and drill a hole in it. So then when you pour that hot molten lead into your fish decoy, it creates like a pin, right. So your fins are leaded in and you can't pull them out because they're in molten, they're in a hardened lead, and then your fins don't fall out. And it's just like, it's little tricks and techniques like that. Like nobody's trying to keep that a secret from you. And I honestly, I can't even remember who told me that, but it's just like, like I said, everybody's kind of playing for the same end goal.
Right. I'd agree with that. Everyone's been really good to help me learn. So I was going to switch gears here a little bit. I heard this week is that North Dakota was maybe going to start allowing spearing for walleye, which I think is cool because I think I posted it on the Friday Night Pikes website, and I think everyone was in kind of an agreement that, your chances of spearing a walleye very small. I think in the 20 odd years that I've been spearing, that my chance of spearing a walleye is on my one hand. But it got me thinking, it's like, if that was opened up, is there any decoy or lure or something that you would make to get a walleye to come in your hole?
Not off the top of my head, I can think of.
I
mean, I've had them come in. I've definitely had. I had one. Derek Carter was sitting with me, and Carter and I had one come in, and the thing was like, the walleye was like as big as a football. We were on this just big 12-foot sand flat, and this thing just came in, and it came right up to the decoy. I can remember being with Dad as a kid, and I mean, we fished North Long Lake in Brainerd. We speared it, and Dad one time we were in. I couldn't tell you the spot. I was a young kid, but he was spearing, and he had like a 10-pound walleye come in the bottom of the hole. I couldn't tell you inches or anything, but when it came in, Dad had it just came in, it laid in the bottom of the hole, and Dad brought guys from like other fish houses. He was like, "You got to see this thing," And
that's odd.
Yeah,
they normally don't as far as I can tell, they don't. I mean, they're pretty spookish, but
yeah, I mean,
their eyes, they can see.
Yeah, it came right in and laid in the bottom of the hole. It was just super cool. Yeah, but.
No, I was thinking about it too, and I thought, well, there's another avenue that would be kind of fun to try to figure out, because you kind of figure out we figured out whitefish a little bit, but try to figure out a walleye decoy that would work. So that's my goal. I want to if that passes, I would like to figure out a walleye decoy.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've had them come in on decoys. I have a walleye on my wall. It was 31 inches.
That you speared.
Yeah. I didn't spear it. No, I cut off the end of my dock. And I was out spearing just not far from where my dock was. And a walleye came in. I had a walleye decoy that I was testing out for somebody. And that thing came right up to that decoy and bumped it. And I'm like, I've never seen that in my life.
Hey, girl, what's your number?
So, yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to try to do some research and try to figure something out there. But so you did mention too the NFDA you're actually the president of the NFDA, which is the National Fish Decoy Association. They have a few decoy shows throughout the state of Minnesota, and Perham in April is usually the big world championship. So is there anything you want to say about the NFDA? I know for the NFDA, for me, it's been awesome. It's a place where I can go and talk with other carvers and compete in some competitions. But is there anything that you'd like to say as the president?
Oh, geez, put me on the spot. I wasn't expecting this one. You should have warned me.
Yeah.
No, so pretty much the NFDA, which is the National Fish Decoy Association, we're pretty much it's just a group of carvers. Essentially, it's a place that we kind of preserve the art and preserve the tradition of carving spearing decoys. It's not something that, obviously, as generations go on. I mean, when you talk, my grandfather Lloyd, who's now passed away, in his generation, I mean, spearing was huge. I mean, everybody speared. Everybody speared. As time has gone on, it seems like fewer and fewer people spear, and and as those numbers dwindle, it seems like the people, less and less carvers, more or less. It's not hard. If you look back on the National Fish Decoy Association page, you look back, there's a lot of carvers. You see a lot of obituaries. It's really sad to see, but you see a big turning of the tide of carvers that are, it's a lot of guys in their, in their 50s, 60s, 70s that have been carving decoys for a long time. And what's cool now is with like Facebook, the Fish Decoy Art page, group on Facebook, you see a lot of younger people getting into it. And when I say younger, it's guys our age, and it's cool to see people pick it up. Yeah. And the National Fish Decoy Association is, like I said, it's just a spot where everybody comes together. We compete. My best friends are from the National Fish Decoy Association. It's just, it's a blast. Yeah. Love every second of it. So our big show is coming up in April. I don't have the dates off the top of my head because I didn't plan for this. But
yeah, it's either the second or third weekend in April.
Yeah, it's in April every year. If you go to National Fish Decoy Association on Facebook, you'll see we'll be posting stuff on there. If you go to nfdadecoys.org, you can go to our website that has all updated information on it too. And
Ryan Ebert runs that now too, right?
Yep, Ryan runs the website, does an awesome job on that. Our website's cool as all heck, so go check that out. We have carver bios on there, so if you are interested, I know this is a big ask, but if you're interested in getting a carver bio put up on there, reach out to me.
Pay you $100.
Yeah, it's $175 plus tax. No, just reach out to me, and you can put something together. And the whole National Fish Decoy Association is just a place to for all of us to kind of share in it, expose some of your work, expose it to the world. Really, I mean, it's a cool place that I don't know. We want it to be the hub of decoys. Yeah.
And like you said, the friends that I've met by going to Perham every year, man. I went to knowing you, and your family, and all the other guys that stopped by there. And
we were just saying, like, a couple months ago, I think we were saying, like, we've known each other 10 years, and the reason we know that is, like, the first year I went to Perham was, like, 2010.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Uh-oh. Here comes. All right. You want my bank account numbers?
Trying to think here.
Are you going to dox me and put me?
Yeah.
Going to have protesters at my door?
So, we're both big fans of Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, and so I'm gonna get this out there. Who's your favorite Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday in film?
Well, Doc is Val Kilmer. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. And then it's controversial, but I like Kevin.
Okay, Bo Snurgley.
Yeah, I'm sorry. In my formerly nicotine stained fingers. And I like Kevin Costner as Wyatt Earp. Yeah. And everybody's gonna. My sales just went down. I won't sell a T-shirt now, but.
I think honestly, he plays him better just because I think Wyatt Earp was pretty cold.
Yeah, it seems like a hard man.
Yeah. And then movie-wise, what's your favorite? This is going to be controversial because there's definitely a split there, but what's your favorite movie? Tombstone and Wyatt Earp.
Between the two of them?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be Tombstone. Everybody knows.
I like Wyatt Earp.
You got Sam Elliott in there.
I like Wyatt Earp better.
Beef.
More realistic.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. You can't beat it. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's right up there with the Outlaw Josie Wales. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's read some comments. I've kind of been seeing them crossing the screen here, but I haven't.
What do we got? Dad says lime green for walleyes.
Alrighty. We're gonna skip over the Joe Fulton content here because he's
Joe threatened to call in during this live broadcast.
Nathan,
Jane, I haven't seen you or heard from you in a long time.
Yeah.
Miss you.
Yeah.
How's the ice situation up there on the big pond? She's got a cabin way up by Lake of the Woods.
Oh, really?
So,
lucky.
Yeah.
Huh.
Go ahead.
No, Matt Baker is mentioning Chris Brandt as his favorite carver. Are you aware?
Chris Brandt is a snowmobiler, and yes, he carves really big snowdrifts. Packer.
All right. Joe says you have a decoy coming, so shut up.
I know.
Bill Rusnick says he's sending his money today to Rod, so we'll be excited to see you there.
Yes. Perham is going to be awesome. Everybody's been waiting for
2 years.
2 years now. So like the highlight of the year, it's like Christmas. You know, everybody loves going to Perham. You get to see people. The cool thing about the Perham shows, you have carvers from all over the nation that show up, and it's a load of fun. If you haven't been to Perham, if you're going to make one decoy show, make it to Perham in April.
Yep.
We tried to schedule. And
you don't even need to have a table if you don't want to.
Yeah,
you can still enter the contest. So
yeah, and just come and check it out. You know, we tried to. The tough thing about scheduling a decoy show is like, you know, everybody says, well, you should do a decoy show in December, and it's like, well, you have the big St. Paul ice show, and
it's during spearing.
Yeah, it's during spearing, and to top it all off, you have to compete with deer season and all that other stuff. So we figure the show is in April. That's when
I have nothing going on in the spring, so I like it then.
You should learn to turkey hunt.
Well, I would like to do that
after Perham.
Yeah. Your dad says you already said this lime green. Nathan Barons, I don't know what this means.
He grew up on North Long. Long is the lake.
Big eyes there.
Yep, yeah. Big walleyes. I've got a picture of me with like probably a 4-pound walleye I caught. It was when we were spearing. Dad was spearing, and he had me sitting outside the spear house, probably because I wouldn't shut up. But I can still remember he had had a tip up set out, and he says, "Well, if the flag goes up, just yell." And it was like the flag goes up, I start running, get there, like pick it up and start, flags up. And I ended up catching a 4-pound walleye, but I got a pretty funny picture of me. I'm not as tall as the bed of the pickup holding my prize walleye.
I used to do the same thing. I got bored in the spear house when I was little, so Dad would punch a couple holes outside, and I'd sit there and spear or angle with suckers. But
nice.
Jason Mikulowski, the president of Michigan Darkhouse Association, I believe.
I'm going to say Mikulski.
Mikulski, there you go. I know him. I just don't know how to spell it.
Jason, you're cool and we like you.
You're another Polak like this guy over here. Just say ski.
Because we couldn't spell toboggan, so.
We had a guy in high school. His name was Razmiklowski or Razmislowski or whatever. We just called him Razma Alphabet.
He's hitting the end of his life. He didn't know. Screw that.
Oh, yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the comments here.
Ryan Ebert, NFDA is a sweet new website.
Yep.
Again, we love your handiwork, man. Jane says the houses are out, clarity is low, not much action. Well, we can fix that.
Yeah, I got out today finally for a good amount of time. It was like maybe 2.5 hours before I came up here. And there's a little bit of slush on the lakes up there. We got a lot of snow on about 6 inches of ice or so, I'd say. And the action was really good today. It was pretty nonstop until a muskrat came in the roll. I was wondering, I hadn't seen any fish for about a half an hour, and I'm like, what's going on? And then a muskrat came up in my hole, and knew that right then that the fish were. And then he went away, and they started coming back again. But
I've never had that happen yet. I've heard the many stories.
It's one of the maddeningest things out there.
Sitting in the serene silence, in the darkness of your spear house, the fire is crackling warmly to your side, and a muskrat scares the living heck out of you as it swims up between your feet.
Yeah, they're big rats, and I don't like them. But so yeah. Well, thanks for all the comments, guys. Because
this is fun.
It is fun. What else would you like to talk about tonight?
We
kind of burned through my questions, and I feel like Barbara Walters here, but how do they get in contact with you, by the way? I know we have kind of the same problem with decoys, maybe you more so than me, that you only put out so many.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to get enough out, and so there's a big list a lot of times, and we don't like lists. And
yeah. So right now, I'm not taking any orders. And mainly the thing is I hate I don't like to keep people waiting. I don't like to take money for fish beforehand. It's just a lot of times with my family business that I'm a part of, it's really hard to like to have to draw a line. I've got 2 small kids, and like it's really hard to like to draw the line to like get off work, come home, spend some time with the kids, and then they go to bed at 8 o'clock or whatever, and try to be present. So usually I don't get to carve until we're laid off, and even as of now, like today I was out working again today, and it's really hard to like to get time to carve, and that's why I kind of stopped taking orders. I hate having people that over the years they I've been waiting a year and a half for a fish, and it's I'm sorry, I really, when I was younger, I had a lot more time and I used to do a lot more fish. Now I like to just to do things to the best of my ability. I know that's one thing that chatting with Thane Johnson, he always said, like, when I'm done with a fish, it's done as best as I can do. And that was like something that really stuck with me, and it's something that I like to try to achieve with my fish. It's like when I'm done, it's as good as I can do. Right now, like I said, I'm not taking any orders for fish, but half of the reason that is like when I go to Perham, I want to have like a table full of decoys. So usually, throughout the year, I'm making fish. So at Perham, I have a nice big table, and if you anybody that comes up to Perham, can get their hands on a fish. I do have a few available here and there. Actually, I'm going to have a few available probably early next week. So, there won't be many, but there'll be a few available, if people want to pick up a Christmas gift. It's going to be first come, first serve. I'm not taking any holds. Like I said, just to make it fair for people.
Yeah.
But.
And how would they contact you? Facebook? Or?
Yep, right through Facebook. Go to my page, Thin Ice Spearing Decoys. I try to stay on top of everything. I don't. Some slip through the cracks, and to those people that have, they send me a message and it takes a while. I'm sorry about that. But I try to stay on top of that as good as I can, and it'd be great if I could. I'd make a fish for everybody.
Right.
It's just I don't have the time, unfortunately. I'll be laid off soon, and then production can start going. So you can blame my operations manager, Ken, if Ken's listening.
So in front of us here, we have a bunch of your decoys. Maybe we should take a look at some of them.
Okay. What do we got here? So we got the traditional fire tiger.
What I like about your decoys too is you have kind of the bait maker mentality. Like there's like it's almost like going fishing. I like that because you have a lot of different options where I feel like I kind of make same type of decoy. But
yeah, so that's kind of one of the things I've been running into lately is I feel like I do a lot of the same thing over and over. I've made 150,000 red and white fish. Fulton's laughing behind his computer right now. But I've made a lot of red and whites and stuff like that. And obviously a lot of people want them. They're effective. And I mean, if I had
everybody wants to own a red and white.
Yeah.
decoy.
If I had one fish to take out to the house, that would be it. So I'm trying to add different colors, realistic. Obviously, a lot of people know me for my crappies and stuff like that. That's it's been my favorite fish my whole life.
I was going to ask you that, and I missed it, but I proclaimed him the crappie king a few years back because it seems like every carver has one species if they're looking at making a realistic, but every carver has one realistic fish. It seems like that they focus on. And Jared can make a crappie, man. They look like they're right out of the water.
Yeah, it's been a lifelong pursuit to make the best crappie I can. It's been like I said, when I was just a little kid, the crappie was my favorite fish. My dad and I will go back and forth. My dad is a sunfish fanatic. He loves sunfish, and I always loved crappies. That was my fish. I loved to catch them. I wanted to chase them in the spring. I had the old Jimmy Houston video on chasing giant crappies, and so yeah, that's been like if there's been any fish that I've really like focused a lot of energy on, it's been crappies, and love brain fart. Yeah. What are the other ones that I do? Lake trout. That's it.
Yeah.
Lake trout is another one that it's pretty. I've never caught one, never seen one, but I really love lake trout.
Yeah.
I should say I've never seen one out of the hole.
Yeah, we seen them in whitefish.
Yeah.
Yeah, they swim big.
On the whitefish chain, yeah.
They come into our hole, and all we can do is look at them. But that purple one there, what kind is that?
Okay, so this is a new color that I came out with this year. I call it the Lake Sarah Special. Reason being is I went right on fishing opener this year. I went up to Ryan's place. My wife and kids and I went up there for the weekend. And we went swimming, and I woke up one morning, went out on his dock, and I had a purple and silver and black little hair jig, and I cast it off.
Electric chicken?
No, electric chicken's pink and green.
Oh.
But I cast it off his dock, and I caught a really nice walleye on opening day of.
Was it 21 inch?
I think it was 23 and a half.
23 and a half.
Yeah. So, and I ate it, and I don't even feel bad about it. But so it, I needed a new color. I was trying to add some new colors to my arsenal, and I was like, that one is. I didn't want to have the same lame name, so I said it's the Lake Sarah Special. So, this is actually this was the first one. I finished it November 1st, 2021. All my fish have my name written on the bottom, and then usually a date.
Don't you wish you would have started numbering them?
Oh, well, it would have been cool, but my brain doesn't work like that. I'm sure if you go there, if you look back, there'll be decoys that have like 1 on them, and then you'd see like number 2, 3, and when I'm dead, when I'm dead in 100 years from now, somebody's gonna, I have his first decoy, and then some other guy's gonna show up and be like, no, I have his first decoy. There's gonna be 5 guys standing with fish number 1 because
it's like those old gunfighters that would die, and their family would say, well, he owned this pistol, and they made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of him.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a whole run of fish. Addie will get number 1, Wyatt will get number 1, Ash will get number 1, so they can sell them when I'm dead and make some money.
How about that one out in front there?
Okay, this is the collaboration fish that Ryan and I did that weekend. That I came up to we went up to his house, and we were sitting around. We said, well, let's carve a fish. So this is the I had actually bought a Kirkschnittker decoy on eBay that week, and it kind of had that stiletto looking Jay McKever's fish, and I kind of said it gave me some inspiration, so I decided to make something kind of similar. So I carved the body on this. Ryan did the fins and the paint, and just knocked it out of the park. I think it's awesome. I wish I had one for myself, but anyways,
it was fashioned after a stiletto shoe.
Yes. Sleek, elegant stiletto. Our plan is for the Whitefish Invitational. We're gonna sell this fish on eBay and use the funds to buy. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna use the money to fund our trip up. Yeah. Be looking for that on eBay.
Probably pretty soon now, because he's gonna be able to sign it, and that's what we've been waiting for.
The whole thing was we were waiting for it to. So I could sign it, and then we can put it on eBay. So.
We were going to do this back in October, but we both got COVID. So.
Yeah, yep. I'm a survivor. I got some strong antibodies now.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Still can't smell anything, though.
Oh, really?
I'm probably 40%.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Crazy. Yeah, so... looks like the Barons are having a conversation here.
Looks like they're having a family fight. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Funny.
So yeah,
it's a bummer Nate ain't coming to Whitefish.
I know,
this year.
Nate, you jerk. We're hoping to have you on Friday Night Pikes again. Yeah. If you saw Friday Night Pikes about a little less than a year ago, Nate made his presence known.
Yeah. We love you, Nate.
Yeah, we do. It was probably one of the funniest moments. I don't know.
Yeah. I make it better. Yeah.
So, anything else you want to add today?
Not really.
No.
It's been fun being on. It's great having you and your wife and kids down.
Yeah. Tomorrow we're heading over to Lauren and Scott Jelly's place to interview them. That one's going to be taped, and we'll probably play it next week. So I'm looking forward to interviewing them and going to their shop. That'll be interesting.
Yes, Nate, I see your comment. Pack your bags and get out there.
Yeah. So yeah, look forward to that episode coming up here, and then we'll probably have a little bit of a break over Christmas and stuff. But
yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'm kind of bummed that we didn't do this in the Crooked Spear Shack. But why Crooked Spear?
Well, it's
I'm flipping this on you now.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to look for a name. I love naming things. If you know anyone in my family, naming dogs, kids, places. I remember me and my brother-in-law were out fishing out on a lake by where we live, and he lost my chisel, so I named it Chisel Bay, and I think it caught on. I think it's Chisel Bay now.
I'm gonna have to name my truck.
And I named the part in front of where I live on the lake, on Lake Sarah, Anchor Bay. I put it on Facebook so that it sticks. So it actually, if you look it up, and the thing about Crooked Spear Shack, it's actually a location on Google Maps now.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, I made sure that happened.
What are you gonna call my shop?
What I really want to do is get the Snapchat filter linked into it. So if you're near my place, it'll automatically put up the Crooked Spear Shack. But I haven't been able to figure it out. But no, I was at a garage sale. And some guy had this huge monstrous spear. I mean, it's taller than I am pretty much. And it had this big, huge, crooked shaft in it. It looks like a sturgeon spear. I don't know what the heck he would spear with it. But I looked at it and I'm like, that would look really cool outside my shed. So I'm like, well, I think that should be the name of it, the Crooked Spear. So now people have been sending me crooked spears to hang.
No kidding.
Yeah, Jordan Gunnison got me one that's really wonky, and it's only got 3 tines, and it was supposed to be a 5 tine. It's just beat the crap. But so that's how they got started.
You have to start like the Crooked Museum or something.
Yeah. Send me all your creek spears.
There you go. Yeah. A bunch of spears all bent up.
You got to be thinking, like, what did they do to these things? I don't know. So... Well, thanks, Jared, for being on today, and I'm sure he'll be part. Well, he's going to be part of the interview tomorrow, and if there's any other stuff that he's able to be a part of, we're going to have him on. So he's a good talker, and
my mom says I have a face for radio.
Yeah. Well, we're on camera now.
I know.
And I just want to thank everyone for joining us. Thanks for the comments, and we'll see you next time.
We're going to add a little sizzle right to the end of this.
Yeah.
So this
this
is a new color that I did this year.
Yeah.
Emily Ryan's wife said I should call it Galaxy, but since I don't think that she should be allowed to name it, I decided to call this color Polaris, and this is the first one that I've done in the Polaris color. So
are you going to number it and all that, or?
No, I'm just going to write my name on the bottom of it and the date.
All right.
Got to stick to what works.
Not patient 0?
No. No. So, this one, somebody's going to be the lucky owner of this.
How should we do it? Should we do a drawing after the fact? So, just so you know, we might have an after the podcast, after Friday Night Pike's little tour tonight of Jared's shop.
Yeah, we were originally gonna shoot this out in the garage, and then we figured, oh shoot, we need Wi-Fi to stream it, and then we're actually streaming this on Ryan's phone because we couldn't stream it through the
internet.
Through the internet, yeah. So we have a hamster running on a wheel over here, keeping our internet running. So it is what it is. How are we gonna give this thing away, Ryan?
I don't know what's a good way to do this. I usually listen to what my wife says. She always has a good thought process.
Okay. I'm thinking of a rifle caliber. First person to guess it gets the decoy. Comment below.
And we'll probably let you comment up until, should we say tomorrow? We're going to do this live right now because...
we're gonna let it go until somebody gets it.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Okay, there we go. And
that might take a while. So
I know, and we're off to the races.
Yes. Wow, look at this.
I know this is going good. We're
so
this is a
put down a rifle caliber. If you're not hearing this, put down a rifle caliber that he's got in his brain there.
This is a rifle I use for coyote hunting.
Oh boy, now you're really
Yep, narrowing it down. Think it out. It's not a 50 BMG, people. So
252. Never heard of that one. Have you?
No, that's a new one to me. So we're going to let this run.
Yeah.
Winner will be determined. I don't know if I've missed any, but
we'll go through the comments if nobody guesses it, and your dad's commenting. Don't listen to your dad. No,
all
I'm
right.
just kidding.
First person that guessed 223 was the winner, so we'll have to go back and search it out. Now I've seen.
I thought you were going with both of these.
556 223. It's pretty much the same round. So.
Okay, so we'll go back and look at the first comment, and whoever did that, we'll give you a con.
Wayne Bembo, if you have a 220 Swift, call me. I'll buy it. It's a dream gun. So we'll go back up. He's scrolling back right now. We'll see if we can find out. And the rifle calibers start there. Zach Edminster, 223. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
There we go. So congratulations. Thanks for doing that. That's very, very generous of you to do that.
No, it's my pleasure. It's fun to be here. Yeah. And yeah.
It was an awesome night. And like I said, stay tuned. You might get a after show, little sneak peek at Jared's shop and bunch of
Zach, send me your contact info. I'm sure I've got it, but resend
Grand Rapids.
Michigan.
I don't know if he's coming. I don't know if you're coming to Perham, Zach, but he makes a killer decoy. I've been following his stuff. Yeah, and we're planning on getting him on the show here one day.
It's tough for me to keep up with everybody because what's cool is that now there's like a whole bunch of new people. I know I'm the president of the NFDA, but it's a tough job. I have a lot of irons in the fire.
Yeah,
I wish I could know everybody personally.
And that's why when you come to shows, it's a good way to
it's good people. To put a face of the name, especially on Facebook. Yeah. You know, that's where you kind of run into a lot of these people. So lots of fun.
All right.
Not for sale. Dang it. I'll trade you an ice saw. Yeah.
An original Wayne Bembo.
Mine's red, actually.
I heard they. I always thought that someone painted that red. I was talking to Wayne when he came over to Friday Night Pikes.
I painted it red.
Okay, well, he said he did actually paint some red.
No, the story with my ice saw is it's straight, and I had a friend that I loaned my ice saw to, and I forget what happened. I think I lost the pin for the handle, and he's like, "Yeah, I welded it straight for you." So I got like a freaking.
There's no fold left on that thing.
No, it's a straight 8-foot long ice saw.
It's not a switchblade anymore.
No,
pocket knife.
If you guys don't have an ice saw, you should have one because it's the best.
Yeah,
it's way easier. I used to do the old, auger the holes where the holes overlap, and you auger like 48 holes, and then you shovel slush for 6 weeks until
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And Jordan will hook you up.
Yeah.
I think he's working on his website right now.
My Italian friend.
Yeah. Jordo. ISA.com.
How about that? Let's keep this thing rolling. We're having too much fun. How about one uncommon ice shack essential for spearing? One thing you bring to the shack that nobody thinks of.
Oh boy.
Food.
Yeah. Yeah, that's important.
When I'm at the ice shack, that's what I'm doing. I'm leaning over a hole and eating.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's Little Debbie's, it's chips and cheese, it's bring the cast iron pan and fry. You brought pork chops that one time. I'm like, what are you doing? I got pork chops.
They were good. I liked them.
I'm not gonna complain. Hey,
no, we should do more of that.
I know.
Grill on the ice. You brought deer. Was it deer?
Elk brats.
Elk brats. Yeah, that was good too. We had a lot of them. Yeah, I bring a magnet that's related to spearing. But
it makes me think of my friend Schnitker.
I bring it usually to pull other people's crap
I was
out
gonna say
of the
something goes down the hole and you need a magnet to get it out.
Yeah,
that's a good answer.
Yeah, or a radio. I like to listen to the radio.
Yeah, some people I spear with Wallace, and Wallace doesn't believe in that.
Really? He thinks they can hear him.
Fish can hear it.
Oh my goodness!
He sits like a serial killer, silent. That's right, Wallace. I'm calling you out.
Kyle Soley says that he was at the Fargo Ice Show and Darkhouse Spearing was way underrepresented. Well, we'll have to change that.
A lot of those ice shows are expensive to get into. I know.
Wallace.
Yeah. Wallace has a couple ins, and he shows at some of those shows, and he says a lot of times it's really expensive to get it, just to get a table to set up at those shows. So I think that's kind of a lot, especially when you look at like decoys, where most carvers, they're kind of in the same boat that like Ryan and I are. It's like the demand is way higher than we can supply. So a lot of times, like even going to an ice show, it's like I don't have enough decoys to set up a table there. Right. And if it's going to cost me $1,000 or $500 for a booth, that becomes a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I would do all the decoy shows, but I just don't have. I like Alexandria too.
I need some elves.
Yeah, like I'm growing them right now.
I know.
An underwater camera, says Kyle Soley. If you know there's a big one under the ice, yeah, I've always wanted to get a camera, and then drill a hole behind me. And
there we go, Fulton. Nothing brings in fish like Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Carrie Underwood was always mine when I was in high school.
Really?
It's like whenever a Carrie Underwood song came on,
fish came right in.
I guess.
I don't see the association there.
I don't either, but it worked.
I invited Rhett Daniels out to my spear shack. I'm waiting for a reply. So, Rhett, if you're out there.
Yeah, if Joe Rogan's listening, I'd like to have him on the podcast. He can come to my house. Yeah. Sit in the basement.
Smoke doobies or what?
No.
Smoke meat. I know he's a big meat smoker.
There we go. I'm talking.
Yeah. Anything you guys out there want to talk about?
Yeah, shout out some questions. We'll I'll keep janking this ice and rattling some.
Yeah.
Wyatt's over here, my son.
Why'd you name your kid Wyatt?
It could have been from Wyatt. It was a name that I liked.
Why not Doc?
That would have been. He's not a doctor.
Oh, not yet. Maybe he would have been.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah. He's a sharp kid.
Mm-hmm. Takes after his mom.
Yeah, for sure. That apple fell a long ways from the tree.
So I was just out in Jared's shop, and
Retro.
He must have 100 unfinished decoys out there, and I'm not lying. Like there's 100 of them, and I want them at the unfinished stage. They look really cool.
I like to carve.
He even has some in a garbage bucket that he just throws away.
If my interest in the decoy starts to decline as I'm carving it, just
you should have a wood stove then in your shop.
Yeah, but there's lead in them usually.
It melts.
And, just shovel it out the bottom.
Yeah.
No, my favorite part of carving fish decoys is definitely like taking it from a block of wood to like the finished carved part, and then after like the painting is like stressful. Mm-hmm. It's like it never in my approximation it never turns out as good as I'm hoping it does. No. So it's like it's just a big disappointment.
What kind of clear coat do you use?
The worst. I use Rust-Oleum. I've had mixed reviews with it. Yeah. Half of the time you spray the stuff on there and it cracks and, kind of eggshells and whatnot. It gives you some problems.
I always struggle at that point what to do because I use like a triple thick.
Mm-hmm.
But I've gone to doing the rotisserie with, it's called True Glide.
Yep, epoxy. Yep.
And the True Glide's good, but if you have metal fins and you want to like tweak them, it'll crack.
It makes the fish like bulletproof. I mean, a lot of times what you see when you have a spearing decoy is around the lead cavity. Yeah. You'll see cracking, and what that's from is like the wood is expanding and contracting with the hot and cold, usually of the water. So you're taking it from it's 80 degrees in your spear house because it's all jazzed up and hot from your buddy heater in there, and then you drop it in the water and it's 33 degrees or whatever, 32, right above freezing. Yeah. So you have this big expansion and contraction and expansion and contraction. So what's happening is that's what you're seeing is that whatever you've used to fill that lead cavity is cracking. A lot of times when you use that 2-part epoxy or whatever, like you do to seal them, you can kind of mitigate that cracking. Yeah. It really doesn't have any effect. I haven't seen it have an effect on the decoys as much. Again, we're using the best possible means to seal them, so they don't take on any water. But,
Yeah, I mean, I think you're protecting them that much more. It just, you're going to notice. It's still going to notice spots, and it's frustrating for me as a carver. It's like, I want them to be pristine all the time. But you use a gun. I have a really nice gun I use for deer hunting, and it gets scratches on it. It's going to be, and that's part of the deal. When you get a gun handed down to you from your grandpa or something, it's got character.
It's got all the stories.
My dad taught me that. I had dropped a pistol that I had bought, and it was on the car, and it hit the cement, and it got a nick in the handle. And I was so upset about it because I like my stuff nice. And he's like, gave it character. And one day when my grandkids get it or something, they're going to be, I wonder what happened there. And that's the way it is with every tool you use. It builds character, and I know a lot of people get really worked up about it. But I personally, I think I've told this before, but I got a decoy from Jay McEvers that he used for many years. And it's got scuffs on it, it's got bite marks, and I got a decoy that he made, that he used, and I thought, man, that's pretty special. Yeah.
It's fun. I know people like I know Evan Kolstad when from the Whitefish Invitational. He had fish once, and he said, "Look at that!" And he holds it up, and he had a fish decoy that had a tooth in it. And a northerner came up, railed it, and broke a tooth off in the fish. And he actually took, instead of pulling the tooth out, he epoxied it in. He's like, "Yep, that tooth is in there forever now." It's just
a battle scar.
Yeah, it just adds character. I've had it happen before. It's cool when you have teeth in your decoy.
My favorite decoy is one that's beat so far to heck because it's been such a good decoy, but it looks like crap. But it's my favorite one. Someone just asked, Mike Lind asked, if you stamp your fins out.
No, all my fins are hand cut.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
No.
That's like there's a rating of like your most fun part to your least fun part, and that least fun part is cutting the fins. And I try to do a nice job and take all the burrs off the edge and sand them down so they have like this nice smooth finish to them. And all of them are hand cut. I know there's not many people that that actually stamp their fins out just because it's expensive, to try to come up with the.
Larry must have, right?
Larry Lang had it.
And I know Dewey, when he was making all those decoys, he had them stamped out.
But it's kind of the thing too, kind of adds a little character to it. Each one is done, each decoy that, if you ever buy a decoy from me, it's done right.
I know Bob. I know one of the last conversations we had with Bob Johnson, who's a legend.
I said if Bob was if there was a Mount Rushmore of fish decoy carvers, Bob would be on it.
Yeah, Bob at Whitefish Invitational, he was sitting up with us, and he always sit up with us. He was the last one to go to bed, and we were asking him about fins, and I was very surprised by what he said. He said, "I throw my fin template after each decoy I make, and I make a new one for each one." And I thought, he probably makes them always the same. I know I do, but he threw that one every time, so it was always an original fin for the most part.
Yeah.
So I was surprised by that, because I do have a bunch of templates that I keep around. But
me too. Most of my, I have like kind of my standard style workers, and most of the time, I have templates for like that fish. I have a pretty good idea of how to weight them to make them swim nicely. Most of my fish, I try to make them just a medium speed, not too fast, not too slow. So
yeah. Ryan Struger says his wife cuts out his fins for him.
Hear that, Em?
She already paints some of my fish, so I think cutting fins out would be.
So what you're saying is you do the red and white one, and she does the rest?
Yeah, right.
You do the natural finish.
Yeah. Yeah, I put the primer on. No, I'm just kidding.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know. So we're at an hour, a little over. What do you think? Should we pull a plug?
That's
or what?
great.
Yeah. We'll be talking more. We'll probably get you on the show again, and we'll talk what's going on.
That's my godson in the background.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's a kid in every corner here. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Thanks
we
for
had
tuning
a blast doing this, and cheers.
We'll see you later. Yeah.
Hasta luego.
hope that wasn't in the whole time. Laugh track.
These guys must think they're really funny or something.
We're gonna party.